Hey everyone, this is Coach Allison. Welcome back to Defy Aging, and this is going to be our week 49 workout already. This week it's going to be another thing where we're kind of splitting it into two different sections for a little variety. So the first portion of the workout will be another in your own space thing. You're going to only have one dumbbell, so pick strategically. It's kind of just part of the fun, part of the strategy with this, even though you might be able to go slightly heavier or slightly need to go slightly lighter on maybe one or two of the movements. But it's kind of just like tough because you have to pick one dumbbell for all of these things, and we'll go over what those are later. But it is 3 exercises, and the way we're going to do it, you'll see it in the demo, but the way we're going to do it is you do all of the movements on one side for a certain amount of reps, and then you do all the movements on the other side. So you can't put the weight down, you can't change weights. You have to do all of the exercises on one side for, what those movements are with that one dumbbell, and then you switch sides. So kind of fun, it's just different. So we're going to go through that. You count your own reps. So everyone will kind of be at their own pace, but still relatively get done around the same time. So when that is wrapped up, then we will go on to stations on the turf, kind of the more standard routine, rotating around the turf with a circuit of 5 exercises. And that will be 3 rounds of 25 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Okay, so let's go over some demonstrations here. Okay, so for that first portion of the workout this week, again, like I said earlier, you have one dumbbell. I'm choosing a 10. You might go a little lighter, you might go a little heavier, but you get one dumbbell. You're not going to have multiple. You don't get to choose 2 weights, and you're not going to be able to switch between them. So it might be a little light for something. It might be a little heavy for something else. That's kind of the fun of this. So the first exercise for this is going to be I'm going to show you all of this in one fell swoop. I'm not going to break up this video into like the 3 different stop and start for 3 different exercises, but I want to show you how this runs. The first exercise is going to be a stagger stance halo. We normally do halos with kettlebells, but we're doing it with a dumbbell for this. And we're staggering, staggering our stance. So I'm going to stand like this. Now, how I said earlier, we're doing everything on the separate side. So I'm starting with my right side. So the way we do a side with the halo is we're just going to say, when you're doing a right side, you're going to lead to the right. So I'm going to count my 10 reps leading to the right. I'm not going to do all 10 just for the time of the video, but now when we stagger our stance for a halo, we want the side we're doing to be the back leg. And that's just for stability, because when it's your back leg, you're a little more stable on that side. So my right leg is back. I'm holding my dumbbell like this. I'm leading to my right. I don't know if this is probably the left for you in the video, but this is my right. So I'm leading my halo. See, I'm going to the right. So you just keep going to the right for all 10 reps. Normally with halos, we kind of alternate directions. We're just going to keep going for all 10 reps in the same direction. See how I'm leading to the right, leading to the right. So that's how we count, to the right direction. Anyway, so remember with halos to keep it low and tight. So I'm keeping it low to my body, as low as I can. That's the mobility component. And I'm keeping it tight into the head. So I'm not way up here. Okay, so keep that in mind with your halos. You do 10 of those. Then you can correct your stance and stand normally for this next part. Stay on my right side, 10 standard overhead presses. We all know presses, we do it all the time. 10 of these. Okay, when you're done with that, try to go as quickly as you can to the next thing. It's going to be a half kneel bicep curl. The side with the weight is the knee that's down, and we go into 10 bicep curls with that side. If you're unable to kneel if you're unable to get into this kneeling position for any sort of reason, no problem. When you're done with your presses, we will take out the kneeling and continue with this standard stance and do your bicep curls like this, no problem. Okay, so that was all of those reps on that one side. You're done with your right side. Take a quick little break if you need it. Now we go to the left side. I'm going to stagger my stance with my left leg back. And now I'm going to lead to the left for my halos. So I'm going to continue with this left direction for all my 10 reps. Okay, we'll say this is 10 reps. Okay, I'm going to correct my stance. Stand normally, palm forward, go into my 10 overhead presses. Let's say I did all my 10 of these. Bring my left knee down. Or again, stay up if you're unable to kneel, and go into my 10 bicep curls. Okay? So that's how that little complex works. We're gonna do 2 rounds on each side. So I would finish my left side, go to my right again, and then go to my left again, and we're done. Okay? I'm guessing it's gonna take like 6 to 8 minutes for everyone to wrap that up. Not quite sure. But that is that first portion of the workout, and now we'll stop this and demonstrate the circuits. Okay, station 1 for the circuit is a high plank hand touch. Exactly what it sounds like. So a high plank means you're on your hands versus your forearms. That's all the difference is there. So you can do this on your toes, like a standard toe position, or you can do it on your knees, totally fine. If no matter which version you are doing, you want hands directly under shoulders, so hands are not way out here, and you want to make sure that your butt isn't up like this, because this is just a tabletop position. It's not really engaging your core. So if you're on the knees, especially, because if you're on your knees, it's easier to kind of go into this position. So you have to sink your hips down, so we're engaging the abs. And if you're on your toes, we can't have hips way up here. So either one, whichever you do though, I suggest putting the feet or the knees wide, and I'll show you why. Because we're going to be lifting one hand off the floor at a time. Obviously not both hands at a time. When you do that, it kind of shifts your body weight. So if your feet are wider, it gives you more of a stabilizer. It gives you more stable base. If your feet are really close together and you lift one hand, you have to tip more to balance. But if your feet are wide, it helps you to stay more level. And that's kind of the goal here, is to stay as level as you can. But it's called a hand touch because we come over and tap the hand. Okay? You can definitely do this on an incline. If that's where you're at, if that's your preference. Same thing though, hips aren't way back here and hands aren't way forward. Okay? So sink those hips down level so you have that nice diagonal line from your shoulders to your heels, and hands are right below the shoulders. And you do the same thing, tapping the hand. All right? So that's station 1 with the high plank hand touch. Next one, we do this one. I've done it relatively recently. TRX deep squat. It's simply giving you assistance with your squat to help you get a little bit deeper into the squat. So that's going to be this station. If you have any knee restriction, obviously only go as low as you're able to with the knees, right? But it's also it helps you, it's good for strength assistance and balance assistance and all that good stuff. So we got our TRX. Go into a normal squat, but this just helps you get lower because I'm using these to help me get back up, right? Okay. See how low I'm able to get. But what you're not doing is relying on them for balance. So we're not leaning back like this. This is like a cross between the beginning of a row and a squat. So we're not doing that. Sometimes you have to find the right placements. Like if I was back here doing this is too far away because I'm not able to get all the way down and it's pulling me. If you're too far forward and there's slack, you might tip backwards because there was too much slack. So sometimes you have to kind of do a few practice reps before you get the perfect placement of where to stand. But a good rule of thumb, when you're at the bottom of your squat, you should be able to let go of the TRX straps and not tip backwards. That's how you know you're not like if I let go of those and I had tipped backwards, that would have shown me I was relying on them 100% for my stabilizing. And that's not the goal here. The goal is that it's like having a handlebar here. And those handlebars are just helping you get up a little bit. So keep that in mind. You're not relying on them 100% to keep you upright. So that's the purpose of that TRX deep squat. It's giving you a chance to practice getting more flexion in your knees. So that just means you're bending your knees more. Getting deeper in your squat, which is activating, therefore getting up from that position is activating more muscle use. So it's helping you get those muscles stronger. So it has a couple uses. As long as there's no joint pain getting down in that position, go for it. You got those TRX straps to help you get up, so let's give it a try. This one is a V-sit pull down. Okay, we need the bands hooked up somewhere higher anchor points. This is a little awkward. You either have to hold them while you sit down or have someone hand them to you. And we're going to sit in this V-sit position. So that is part of this. So it is, you do want your legs wide in a V-sit position. Forward grip on the bands, and we pull, sit up really tall, pull those elbows down and back. The closer you are to being almost like right underneath the bands, the better. With my setup, this is about as close to I can get as being right underneath them. I said that weird. So it's okay. I'm pulling slightly back. That's fine. But elbows go down and back behind you, almost like you're trying to touch the elbows behind your back. Chest kind of puffs out, so we're not like caving. It's very important we're not caving in like this, because it doesn't work your back if you do that. So it's very important your elbows are coming back like this. Sit up, keep your posture up tall and straight, and keep your palms facing forward. Okay, so all of that stuff together, you see me do about 5 or 6 reps now. All of that stuff together, you should be feeling kind of the muscles back here. All right, and that is our V-sit pull down. If you're unable to get to the floor, you can put the band up somewhere even a little higher, or keep it just as it is. I like to stagger my stance for a little added stability. And really, it's very similar move. You'll be pulling just a little more kind of back like this, and less of a downward angle. Otherwise, all the cues are really almost exactly the same. So if you're not able to get to the floor, very similar movement, subtle difference in the angle. All right, so that is our V-sit pull down. All right, next one is a 3-1 chest press. So we're gonna go up on 3, down on 1. So it's really challenging. Typically, when something is heavy, we want to push it up with a little extra speed to use some momentum. So this is challenging. So you might have to go down in weight compared to what you're used to, perhaps. So before you sit down with the weights, get them in your lap first, and then sit down with them like that. So that helps you get them in the right position right off the bat. So we're going to go up on 3, down on 1. That's very important. So up 3 seconds. And then down on 1, just normal speed down. Just remember that down on 1 doesn't mean fast. It doesn't mean you're going down super fast. Just normal speed. So 3, 2, 1, down. 3, 2, 1, down. Okay, let your elbows come all the way down to the floor. When you're done with this one, put the weights down like this. That's going to be the best, safest way on your shoulders to put the weights down. And that's how we do that 3-1 tempo. Anyone that is unable to get to the floor, the coaches will have some incline benches or an incline bench for you at this station wheeled into the space, and you can do the identical movement on an incline. Everything is the same. Okay, so that is our 3-1 chest press. And our last station, we haven't done these for a while, so I'm throwing them in this week. It is the kneeling get up. You are welcome. Okay. You'll probably want a mat for this. Tall kneeling position to start. We bring one knee up. Then we come to a full standing position. That same knee that you led with up now leads down. So now look, we're back in a half kneel. And then both knees come down. I recommend just alternating legs each time. So my right leg led last time, so now I'm going to lead with my left. Left up, left down, right up, right down. That's just, for me, alternating legs that way is the easiest to coordinate it in my head. If you have a way that you think is better to alternate sides, go for it. Yeah, so if you need to do a little assistance like this, push up on the way up, and then a little bit of descending, assistance on the way down, that's totally fine. Again, little assistance up, little assistance down. That's fine. Now, if it's getting to the point where it's just use your judgment, but a little too much assistance or a little too sloppy, for example, something like, maybe that level of assistance. Perhaps we're not there yet. Or if there's any knee pain, if there's any joint pain, that's just an indicator that we're not there yet. An alternative is a great alternative is a step up for this station. So that'll be our alternative. Same thing with switching legs. So alternate the leading leg each time. So up right, down right, up left, down left, up right, down right, up left, down left. And that's how you'll continue to alternate the legs for that one. But yes, kneeling get-ups, it's been a while, so let's revisit those. Remember when we had those in the warm-up and we had to do them before every single workout? So it could be worse, right? Anyway, that is our last station. Okay, team builder. This week we're going to do a plank off. We toss these in every once in a while. I think our most recent holding challenge was a wall sit challenge. So we will go back to a plank challenge this week. So normal forearm plank. Let's do a little plank challenge and see who can hold their planks the longest this week. Coaches can jot some times down on the mirrors so we can have some running totals of some of our top plankers throughout the week. And let's see what kind of times we end up with. I think we'll be surprised at some of our longest holding planks. Okay, that wraps up week 49. We have a couple weeks left of the year, so I hope you enjoy this workout, and I will see you back in week 50. That reminds me, yes, week 50 will be our next mobility week. So taking a different angle for next week's workout, but I will see you back in week 50.